Yesterday, the Athletics got a much-needed win. Sonny Gray wasn't his best, but made pitches when he needed to. Well, Josh Reddick and Stephen Vogt supplied the power, and the Green and Gold snapped a 4-game losing streak, taking Game 2 from the defending World Series champs. Today, Chris Bassitt takes the hill, and he will look to win the series. Bassitt is coming off a nice performance in Seattle, and will try to help get the A's a series win before they head east after the game. It's Game 3, A's-Royals, next. Beautiful day for baseball at the Coliseum as the A's wrap up this 6-game homestand, and today it's the rubber game of the series. Chris Bassitt will try to get the A's a series win. It's the Royals and the Athletics coming up on CSN California. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Mark Mulder, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Chris Bassitt will make his 3rd start of the year, and Mark, he's got good stuff, but you can also tell he's a young pitcher that's still learning how to get through a lineup a 3rd time and maybe even a 4th time.
Yeah, he seems to have no problem the 1st and 2nd time. It's the 3rd. That's when they've starting to see all your pitches. And sometimes with young guys, you come out, that 1st inning, you want to throw a fastball, you want to throw a curveball, you want to throw a slider, and then all of a sudden you start mixing in changeups. Well, now these guys have seen each and every pitch. He's a tall guy. He has great angle, and you see that slow breaking ball. Sometimes you save a pitch or two for maybe a big at bat later in the game to where they haven't seen that pitch before.
Now, the A's offense has been a little sluggish in the early going, but Josh Reddick, pretty consistent, and he's had a nice series.
He's been outstanding. He's been the one guy, even in Game 1 of this series, gave some good at bats. We've seen some power from him. Game 2, he almost had 2 home runs. You know, he's the one guy that in this lineup that kind of got it going. And then everyone else followed yesterday, and that was nice to see. There was a lot better at bats, guys trying to drive the ball back up the middle a little more, and let's hope that continues into this Game 3.
And indeed, Josh Reddick, of course, a free agent to be, so he would love to have a big season here in 2016. So Chris Bassitt against the right-hander Chris Medlin. That is your pitching matchup for the rubber game of this 3-game series. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum right after this.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Taste the Baconlicious Sourdough Bacon Ranch Combo, only at Jack in the Box. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
What's up, buddy? How are you? What's your name? Anthony, I'm Steven. Nice to meet you. Want me to sign that for you? Doing all right today?
The goodness of Stephen Vogt, one of the reasons why we love that guy, as he and the Athletics take the field. It is Little League Day. Thousands of Little Leaguers tracking around the field earlier today, getting a chance to take the field with the Athletics. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open. Visit beachboardwalk.com for park hours. It is a nice day, warm, 76 degrees. A very light breeze, so warm weather has taken over the Bay Area, and it's supposed to stay that way tomorrow as well. But the A's will be on the road. So, rubber game of the series. Let's take a look at the lineup this afternoon for the Kansas City Royals. Escobar in the leadoff spot. Moustakas will hit second. Kane third, Hosmer fourth, and Morales is the DH. Gordon in left. Perez is your catcher. Raymond Fuentes is in right field. And Christian Colon is the second baseman today.
And Chris Bassitt on the mound, making his third start of the season. Looking to build off of the last start in Seattle. 7 innings, 3 hits. Had the 5 walks in his last start, so he'd like to change that, but it's something to build off of and hopefully try to win this game 3 of this series, this 3-game series.
So playing behind Chris Bassitt today, this good outfield of Chris, Burns, and Reddick. And then on the infield, Valencia, Simeon. Chris Coghlan will play second base. It's his third start at second base this year. Yonder Alonso at first, and Stephen Vogt is behind the plate. So we're set for baseball. A's in the all-whites today on Sundays. And the world champion Kansas City Royals wearing the blue tops with the gray pants today. Royals won on Friday night. A's bounced back behind Sonny Gray and the bullpen yesterday. So both teams trying to get out of town with a win. Bassitt kicks, and the first pitch of the game is rolled foul. Calling balls and strikes today is the crew chief, Brian Gorman. Escobar 255 with a couple of RBIs. And in this series, he's had a good series. He's 4 for 9. He's scored a couple of runs. He's got a couple of stolen bases. He's knocked in a run, so he's done a good job out of the leadoff spot. Moustakas to follow, and then Kane here in the first. And that one's driven toward left center field. Hit pretty well. Coco on the move, and Coco gets there with a good jump. Looks like that one hung up a little bit for Coco.
It did. Escobar puts a good swing on it. It was a little cutter away, and you can see that gap, but Coco closes very quickly and gets out there to make the nice catch. No problem with the sun on that one today yet. We'll see if that sun plays a factor later.
So one away. Here's Mike Moustakas. Moustakas takes a first pitch strike down around the knees. Moustakas got a break on Friday night, was not in the lineup, back in the lineup yesterday. Had a quiet game yesterday. He was 0 for 5. So 0-2 the count.
You can see so far from Bassitt coming out, throwing strikes, pounding that strike zone. That's what I think you got to do against this Royals team. You have to attack them, put them in swing mode. They like to not necessarily sit around, but they're looking for certain pitches. They're very disciplined at the plate. Come out, throw strike 1, strike 2, go right after them.
That one tapped out in front foul. So basically you're saying if they're aggressive, and you know they are, well then you have to be aggressive.
Absolutely. they want to swing the bat. We talked about it. Even though they struck out in the game 1 of this series a handful of times, 12 times, they don't strike out much, but they don't walk. They want to swing that bat, and I think the only way to go after them is to get them is to go right after them.
Moustakas hits one in the air, fairly deep. Coco backpedaling, and now on the warning track, and that ball carried pretty well. So 2 outs. Here's the pitches per inning in the 2 starts so far for Chris Bassitt. His first start, and then much better in his second start. Ground ball percentage much higher in his second start.
Well, you see, and that's a result of his fastball, keeping it down, mixing in that little cutter. Then he has the slow curveball, mixing in changeup, but being down in the zone. His stuff is electric. Arms and legs kind of fly at you. He's a tall guy. His glove reaches out real high, and there's a little bit of funk there, and I think that leads to some of his deception. But more than anything, he throws hard. He has electric stuff, and you keep that down in the strike zone, and those hitters can only beat it into the ground.
1-0 pitch, good fastball there, 94 miles an hour.
Well, and here's a fastball just going right after Lorenzo Cain. Elevated, up in the zone, just above the belt. It's another pitch that guys have a tough time handling when it's up.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Well, what's interesting too with this windup, initially when he starts to lift up his leg, it's very slow, very deliberate. But then when he comes at you, that's when it becomes all arms and legs.
Yeah, and you see it, and it's quick. There's a lot of quick movement. The glove goes high, flashes up there real quick, and then he pulls it down. And right there, that curveball, I think that's what makes that curveball so good. It's slow. It's 73 miles an hour to where everything else he throws is quick, is firm.
1-2 pitch. Nice play. Valencia ranging to his left. Throws dug out by Alonso. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Chris Bassitt. A good start for the young right-hander. Bottom of the first coming up, no score.
A's fans, relax and take a break with the perfect pastime. An ice cold Corona and A's baseball.
Like today, got the 2 speedy guys at the top, Burns and Crisp, then Reddick, Valencia, and Vogt. Chris Coughlin's at second. Billy Butler in the lineup today as the DH, and then Alonso, who had a good game last game, and Marcus Semien is batting ninth.
Well, Chris Medlin on the mound for the Royals. You see the 1-0 record just in 1 start. This is his second start of the season. And coming back from a second Tommy John surgery, pitched the second half of last season. Really did a nice job, pitched a little bit of relief in the playoffs for the Royals. Let's not forget, he was he's been one of the, at times, been one of the better pitchers in baseball when he's been healthy.
He was good with the Braves for 1 year.
I think it was 2012. He was 10-1 with a 1-something. I mean, he made it look easy second half of that season.
Yeah, in 2012, he was 10-1 with a 1.57 ERA, and then in 2013, he was a 15-game winner.
Yep.
So he was really kind of one of the real good young pitchers in the National League, but had his second Tommy John surgery soon after that, and he's trying to get back. So Burns grounds out. But it's an interesting story. Look at the career numbers.
And just the 41-22, but it's an awfully good win-loss percentage. It's just he hasn't been out there enough, and that's the thing. It's just staying healthy and staying on the mound. He hasn't quite been able to do that, but when he is out there, he's been outstanding.
Well, he had Tommy John surgery in 2010, and then again in 2014. And at the end of that 2014 season, and there's a shot towards second. Colon backhands. That's the second out.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game. First off, let's keep the bats going. The A's had an outstanding day yesterday. We want to see those hits continue today and then win the series. Win the series. They've struggled so far this season, but you know what? You have a chance to take 2 out of 3 from the Royals before a big, long 11-game road trip. This would be a big win today.
So here's Reddick with 2 outs. A couple of ground ball outs for Medlen. But the Royals signed Medlen after the 2014 season, knowing that they were not going to have him for the first part of last year. And they did not. But then he came back and he pitched pretty well in the second half. And his contract was a 2-year deal with an option for next year.
Yep.
So they knew they weren't going to have him the whole year last year. They knew they'd have him this year. And if he's pitching good, mutual option. So both sides, if they agree, he could be with them next year as well. So it could be one of those contracts that works out for both parties.
Absolutely. And that's part of what the Royals do. It's also having more depth.
And that's a pretty good inning for Chris Medlen. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. So good first innings for both starters. We're going to the second, no score.
Season. Purchase a group of 25 or more on the field level on select games, and everyone in your group will receive a quality snapback A's cap. You can book your group cap day outing by calling 510-638-GO-A's or by visiting athletics.com/cap.
So second inning, Hosmer, Morales, and Gordon. Bassett's first pitch is outside to the cleanup hitter Hosmer. 2 for 9 in the series. One of the hits a home run. 318 overall for Hosmer. So remember, in the open of our show, we talked about Chris Bassitt and being a young pitcher, really learning how to pitch deeper into games, get through a lineup a third time, and maybe even a fourth time.
Yep.
And it's one of those learning things with young pitchers. But you know, Mark, you and I talked a lot about it before the game. There's an art to doing that, and we saw Bassitt in the first inning. He had a great first inning.
Yep.
11 pitches, 3 up, 3 down, boom, 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 back in the dugout. But he also used all of his pitches, meaning he showed all of his pitches very early in the game.
Yeah,
and to a veteran lineup, even though they were retired 3 up, 3 down, a team like the Royals are saying, hey, 3 pitches in, 3 batters in, we've seen all his pitches already.
And I believe Escobar and Kane each saw a curveball, a slider, and a fastball. You know, so that's the one thing. Like, he has such a good fastball.
And Hosmer is going to have a leadoff double as he just shoots one the other way.
And back to my point, Bassitt has such a good fastball, I think, that that first inning, you can almost come out and just try to get through that first with just fastballs. Here's another one, trying to go inside, misses location, comes back over the middle of the plate. And Hosmer, I see this from him a lot. He's a little late on it, but that's just part of his game, and hits a hard ground ball the other way and easily into second base. But part of getting deep into a game is when you get that third time through the order, having a pitch or a plan of attack to go to that you haven't showed that hitter yet. So let's just say Lorenzo Cain, for example, he showed him a fastball, a curveball, and a slider. Well, let's just say Bassitt gets into 6th, 7th inning, and you got a couple guys on. Well, Cain has now seen almost everything. He hasn't seen a changeup, but it's not that Bassitt throws that many changeups to a right-handed hitter anyway. But you know, he doesn't have that one pitch to maybe get 2 strikes on the guy, and then all of a sudden, oh, here's that curveball that you haven't seen yet.
So it's a big deal for a lineup to see all of the starters' pitches as quickly as you can.
I mean, it's a game within a game.
So Morales gets Hosmer over, runner at third, 1 out.
I mean, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
You know, because there are situations that call for certain pitches, but I guess I just always felt I remember a game in Boston early in my career where I got through 3 innings and didn't throw anything but a fastball. And I remember
you had your bag of tricks still there.
And I remember Rick Peterson coming over, going, "Hey guys, hey," talking to me, and I believe Sal Fasano might have been catching me and just saying, "Hey, we got to start mixing in some other pitches." And Sal looks up at the scoreboard and goes, "Why?"
I see zeros across the board.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. First pitch to Gordon is outside. Well, that really is the game within the game, because you may breeze through the lineup the first time through using all 4 of your pitches, which is great, but it may hurt you a little bit later on in the game.
Yeah,
not always, but it could.
But it could. Yeah. You know, now there's also something to be said. Maybe he shows him everything, and all of a sudden he starts to get a feel for his fastball, maybe a little better, and next thing you know, you're just pounding heater after heater later in the game. But that's what I'm talking about. There's always those little games within the game of baseball that not a lot of people see.
Gordon had a good swing there, 93 miles an hour on the fastball. But that's really the trick of it all for a starting pitcher, is to figure out how to get through that lineup a third time and even a fourth time.
It's figuring out yourself. What makes me good, and how can I go deep into a game?
That one's going to drop into shallow right center field. Looked like a little lob wedge from Gordon. It's good enough to get Hosmer home, and the Royals take a 1-0 lead.
Well, Bassitt went to the breaking ball here, trying to get Gordon out in front. You can see it worked, but he's able to keep those hands back. You see that almost a pause there, keeping his hands back and just flaring it out into the outfield, doing anything he can to get Cain in from third base, which he does.
Third RBI of the year for Alex Gordon, and here's Salvador Perez. And that one's hit high in the air to left, playable. And Crisp has it. So 2 away here in the second inning.
Batting in the 8th position, the right fielder, number 34.
One thing Bassett's going to learn as he gets older, the Gordon at bat. You know, when you throw a breaking ball there, you throw something slow. All Gordon's doing is trying to hit a fly ball. He's trying to get Cain in, and when you throw him a curveball, you're almost doing him a favor, giving him something to just kind of fillet into the outfield. That curveball, Bassett's going to learn. He wants to try to bounce that to get that swing and miss. You leave it up and throw it for a strike, and it's too easy for a good hitter like Gordon to get that to the outfield.
Here's Raymond Fuentes. Fuentes had a couple of hits yesterday. Eighth place hitter, 294 his average on the season. 5 hits in 17 at bats with 3 RBIs. A pop up into foul territory by the A's dugout, off the top of the dugout. Big bounce into the stands. Royals come in with an 8-3 record. They're tied with the White Sox for the top spot in the AL Central. They're 4-2 on the road. They will head home after this ball game. They get a homestand against the Tigers and the Orioles. Kauffman Stadium's become a pretty cool place, especially what has happened the last couple of years with the Royals. Good atmosphere. Alonso grabs it, side retired, a run on 2 hits for the Royals. Bottom of the second coming up. 1-0 Kansas City. Children from Bay Area Loot Leagues. Each child got an A-striped sock giveaway. It's presented by Black Bear Diner. Biscuit Bear appeared at the pregame festival. We got biscuits there. It's always a good day. Little League Parade throughout the first pitch. 15 Bay Area locations. There's something for everyone at Black Bear Diner. I didn't know Black Bear Diner had a mascot. Biscuit Bear.
It's got to be a little warm in that costume out there today.
You think? Biscuit Bear. Learn something every day. Chris Medlin with a 1-0 lead here in the second inning. It'll be Valencia Vogt and Chris Coghlan. Hey, Medlin, not a real hard thrower, 91-92. He's a little bit of a dart thrower.
Yeah,
he'll work in and out.
And he mixes in, he changes speeds, he mixes in 3-4 different pitches.
Center field, that's hit well. Kane going back, but he's got room, and he makes the catch.
Well, you see the fastball, the slider, the changeup, the curveball. You know, and he can add and subtract off each of those. That's what makes him effective. He has good movement, some late run. He'll inside the lefties. He has kind of that Maddox, that comeback sinker off the hip. And he pounds the strike zone. He works quick and goes right after you.
So 1 out, and here's Stephen Vogt. So it's the point we're making on this whole what pitches you're using. So you saw Medlin, he's got 4 pitches.
Yep.
And he uses them all. In this first inning, see our pitch count now is at 12, and that's not very many, but I've only seen him throw 1 off-speed pitch, and it got Reddick swinging.
Yep.
So we'll see if he just continues using the fastball. Another fastball.
Well, I think lots of times some starters, if you can command your fastball, you throw your fastball until the opposing team makes you make an adjustment. This game is all about adjustments. As a starting pitcher, we saw Sonny Gray make multiple adjustments yesterday.
There's another fastball.
Because of what the Royal hitters were doing to him, and different pitches he would go to at times because of his pitch count and how the Royal hitters were working him. And as we've seen from Medlin, he's, hey, listen, here's my fastball, and I'm going to throw it until you make me throw something else.
And that one is belted deep down the right field line, but foul. So well out in front that time.
Well, and here's Vogt's home run from yesterday. You see the fastball down and in. Just drops the barrel on the ball, and that's 2 in 2 days for him.
Full count to Vogt with Coghlan to follow. Vogt now 11 hits on the year, 37 at bats. A couple of doubles to go along with the 2 home runs. And that pitch is low, and it's a walk. So first walk of the afternoon, first base runner for the A's. Here's a good matchup to watch. Medlin against Coghlan. Of course, both quite a bit of time in the National League. So Coghlan, the guy, really the only guy that has a decent amount of at-bats against Medlin. He's 6 for 11 in his career against Medlin with 4 walks.
And because of that history, this is where you could see Medlin go to different pitches now.
Sinking fastball, just a touch outside, 1-0.
Well, there you see the 6 for 11 in his career, so he sees the ball well out of his hand. And I know he's struggling right now, but this is just what can get you turned around.
2-0. That was off-speed pitch from Medlin. Strike, 91 miles an hour.
Well, Medlin trying to go inside and makes a mistake. It comes back over, and you see Sal Perez, the way he catches it. Coughlin must have thought that ball was down.
Now 3-1. Billy Butler to follow. And he missed outside again. So he kept keeping the ball away from Coughlin. He just could not find the strike zone. So 2 on 1 out for Butler.
Number 16, Billy Butler.
Well, Billy Butler's not been getting a huge amount of playing time. He's 3 for 18 to start this season. So probably a little frustrating for Butler. I think nothing else. Billy just needs it. He needs a clutch hit.
Yep.
Kind of get things going for him.
Now's the time for that. Medlin uncharacteristically walks 2 in a row.
Medlin, he got the win in that start at Houston, but he did walk 4. Pitched 5 innings.
You see this fastball in. Butler looking for something out over the plate. Almost didn't get out of the way of that one.
Missed again. So he'll get a visit from Perez. And Medlin just breezed through the first inning. Straight up defense by Kansas City. That one tapped slowly to third. Moustakas will grab it and step on third. Throw to first is high. Hosmer comes down on the bag, and that's a double play. So Moustakas grabbed it right by third base. Hosmer using that 6'5" frame. Does he get his foot down? He does. 5-3 double play. Nothing for the A's in the second.
@BAT app. Stay up to the moment, any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Christian Colon leading it off for the Royals. Top of the third, 1-0 Kansas City. Royals got a run in the second on Gordon's RBI single. That one looped just foul. A's with a 5-7 record, 2-7 at home. Getting set for a long road trip. 3 in New York, 3 in Toronto, 4 in Detroit. In fact, this stretch, the stretch that starts Tuesday, away from the Coliseum quite a bit. And the A's will be gone. You see New York, Toronto, Detroit, then back home for Houston.
It's going to be a good early season test.
Yeah, no question.
You know, it's going to, you go out and win 7, 8 of those games and
feel better.
Feel real good about yourself. That's a tough trip.
But you come home with that Houston and then Seattle, and then you're back out again. So starting on Tuesday, the A's have a stretch where they will play 19 of 25 games on the road. So that's a lot.
There's usually what, 1 or 2 stretches like that throughout the season.
You got to survive them. So it's basically a 10-game trip, a 6-game homestand, and then a 9-game road trip.
Yep.
So that will get the A's through the middle of May, but it'll be a challenge. Again, slice foul.
Oh, this is again.
Nice.
Somebody's trying to show off.
Lefty. It's worth another look.
You see this foul ball. We're going to break this down. Off one leg. Saves the fans right over the top of the bullpen.
Oh, that's beautiful. Jammed and grounded. Simeon throws out Colon. Check it out. It's worth another look.
Well, let's check out the elevation. I mean, he got up right there.
And there was a certain amount of coolness after the play was made as well.
He just acted like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
See?
Thank you. Probably do it again later in the game.
Well done.
I think it's always very important to act like you have done that before.
Yeah.
Even if you've never even come close to doing it before. So Escobar steps in. Hit a ball hard to left center. And Coco made a nice running catch on leading off the game. More action. He may catch that one. Oh! See, I don't think he took that as serious.
No.
There was a nonchalantness about that effort.
He got lazy with it.
He did.
He flat out got lazy with this one. He stands up. It's just to his left and look like he's ready to just, this is easy. I got it. Uh-oh.
You know what, Mark? He's starting to believe the press clippings.
Ball boy.
Yeah. Good fastball there. And Bassett blows away Escobar for his first strikeout.
Well, Bassett went right after Escobar. Some hard fastballs, got the foul balls, got ahead in the count, and then there's that elevated fastball just above the belt. We've seen it numerous times in this series. Guys just can't seem to catch up to that one, especially when it's 94, 95, 96.
2 outs for Moustakas. Moustakas takes a curveball down and in. He hit a fly ball to left field in the first. Checked his swing, did not go around.
You see Moustakas, the slider inside. It was close. He held it back, though.
Shift is on for Moustakas. Simeon playing just to the right of second base. Coughlin out in shallow right. Burns just a little bit toward right center, not a lot. Drive to right. Trouble. Gone. 2-0 Royals. So Moustakas hits home run number 4 on the year.
Well, you see Vogt, see that glove down and away. He wants a good hard sinker down, and this pitch is just up over the middle. You see Vogt, the glove reaches back up towards the center of the plate. Moustakas did not miss that. That was a bullet out to right field.
Reddick knew it was gone. Second home run in the series for Kansas City. I'm going to bring up Lorenzo Cain. On the season, it's the 10th home run for Kansas City in, this is their 12th game. Lorenzo Cain hit a ground ball to Valencia in the first inning. Valencia made a nice play ranging to his left. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
And there's a good slider from Bassett. Two fastballs early in this count. Get it to 1-1. Nice slider right on the outer half.
Vogt wants a high fastball, and he got it. Came late. See Vogt kind of reaching up with his glove to give the target.
See the glove up. He wants that same pitch right at the belt.
Wants it again. You were a guy who pitched down a lot. Did you not like trying to pitch up, even if it was kind of a waste pitch?
There were a few times I did do it, and I felt like every time I did it, they tomahawked something into the outfield for a base hit.
Well, it's got to be kind of strange because everything that you've ever believed in is to pitch down.
Well, but the other thing that frustrated me is most of the stuff that I threw was down. So why are you now hitting a ball that's letter high?
Sure.
And I never understood how they were hitting it, because if you're supposed to be looking down against me,
what are you doing hitting that?
Why would you be hitting that pitch?
Just outside. Cain with a walk.
But
so that's the first walk.
I also didn't throw 96.
Yeah, true.
You know, so and it's different. Everybody's, there's guys who throw 92 that throw the ball by guys up in the zone. It all depends how that ball comes out of your hand and the way you throw it.
I always thought it would be really hard to be able to just hard to execute pitches right at the top of the strike zone that you try to get swings and misses through, because if you miss, it's obviously dangerous, but such a fine line to pitch right above the strike zone.
I could never do it. So the only way I could throw a high fastball was I overthrew a fastball.
Yeah.
I threw it as hard as I could, and it was generally 2 miles an hour slower because you overthrew it, but that's how I elevated a pitch.
Yeah.
I just tried to throw it harder.
Hosmer doubled in the second inning and scored. He hit a hard ground ball right down the third base line. Keep an eye on Cain. He can steal a base. He's got just one so far this year. But this is one of those spots where where the Royals, I mean, they execute so well.
Yep.
And this is one of those spots where a guy like Cain, he may not steal 50 bases, but he picks them up when he needs them, and this may be one of those times. Although Hosmer down 0-2 in the count. And he's going to end up at second anyways. Vogt blocked it. It just rolled away from him.
Well, Bassitt went back to the breaking ball, and we talk about how 0-2 you want to try and bounce it, which he does, but you can see it just kind of takes a funny hop, and Cain, the second that thing hits the dirt, he's off and running.
Again, blocked by Vogt. 2-2 the count.
Well, in this one, he happens to glove that. The other one kind of hit right off the thumb part of his glove, and you can't help sometimes the little carom it takes. Luckily, he got that one, though.
Good breaking ball. Hosmer's fooled, and he strikes out. Home run for Mike Moustakas, his 4th of the year. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It's the Royals 2 and the A's nothing. May 21st, 2004. A youngster by the name of Mark Mulder mowed down the Kansas City Royals. How about this? 9 innings, 3 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts, 108 pitches, and best of all, 2 hours and 9 minutes. One of the things that made you fun to watch, you were good, but you just get the ball. I know what I'm going to throw. Let's go. It's a wonderful thing.
There's no time. There's no reason to waste time out there. You know, I just basically got back on the mound and I stood there as soon as that hitter stepped in. Let's go.
Yep.
And you know, I've said it before. I might have struck out people, but I tried to throw 3 pitches and get 3 outs. That was my goal every single inning I went out there. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
But I think if you have a game plan, well, first of all, listen, if you're going to work quickly, I mean, guys who are good pitchers, well, they can do that. But I think you work quickly because you got a plan.
Yeah.
You know what your plan is, and you try to execute it each and every time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think pitchers are slow on the mound because they're thinking about what should I throw here.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happens, especially when things start going a little sideways out there. It's tough to keep moving at that pace when you're not commanding and you're falling behind in the count, which I did a bunch. It happens.
Yeah. Heck of a career, though, for Mark Mulder. A's and Cardinals. 21-game winner in 2001. 103-60 when it was all said and done. Well, you pitch a lot of games here at the Coliseum, and I think generally it's considered a good pitcher's park. It's fairly, I don't know, I guess the dimensions are, I wouldn't say it's a big ballpark. I just don't think the ball carries real well. Did you notice a huge difference day and night, because the night air is a little thick and cool?
There was absolutely a difference. A huge difference, no. There was a huge difference maybe out to center field, but that was about it. I mean, a well-struck ball down the line or in the gap was still going to be a home run. It was still going to get out there. But, you know, I've told people that one of my favorite parts about this field, people think that all the mounds are exactly the same. But Clay Wood, the job he does on this mound here, I thought this mound was one of the best in baseball. During my time, it was always this mound in Toronto.
Really?
I'm not sure why, but those two mounds just felt just better than others.
Tough sun for Gordon. Well, he hung in there and he made the catch. Well, that's interesting because, yeah, I mean, obviously there's certain heights and distances that mounds are, and you're not going to deviate from that, but.
Well, and you can see him using his glove to kind of shade his eyes, getting around it. Sometimes you try to change the angle of which you catch it. If he just goes square with that, sometimes it gets right behind the sun, but he turned his body trying to stay, just give him a different look.
So 2 away for Burns. Corner infielders come in. You do hear pitchers say, though, that it's not uncommon for a bullpen mound to be different than the mound on the field. And that can be an adjustment in the first inning of a game. Toward Kane, backs up, now hustles back, and he's got to reach up and make the catch. So a line drive out. A's do not have a hit yet as we go to the 4th inning. 2-0 Kansas City. CSN California is brought to you by AAA. What does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for details. Two 0. Royals lead the A's. Look down at Laney College. Beautiful look. Kendrys Morales swings at the first pitch. Here comes Coco, and Coco caught it. Yes. Looked like it rolled out of his glove onto his chest, and then he grabbed it.
Well, Coco and Semien are both on this. Coco kind of, I think he falls so that him and Semien didn't collide. And while he's on the ground, you can kind of see him. He just reaches the glove out and makes the catch. He's got it. All things considered, that's a heck of a play.
Yes, indeed. So we get the hint. The sun is tough today.
Yes.
Alex Gordon had an RBI single, and he falls behind quickly 0-2.
I mean, I remember numerous times. I remember Troy Gloss taking one off the face at third base. I mean, just a regular pop-up.
Third base is a tough spot, too.
I mean, there were numerous guys who got hit by pop-ups and stuff, just visiting teams most of the time.
Well, you played in the Midwest, too. I mean, there's cloud cover in the Midwest.
Yep.
There's just no cloud cover here. Two and two the count to Gordon. Perez will follow here in the top of the fourth. Good pitch. Took a little off, caught the inside corner.
Well, Chris Bassitt goes to the slider here. You can see Gordon thought that was going to break a little more and missed down and in. A great pitch right on the inner half from Bassitt. You can see just above the knee. Gordon didn't like it, though. Not many hitters do.
No, I thought it was a pretty good pitch. Bassitt trying to have a 3-up, 3-down inning. He had one in the first. Curve. Perez swings through it. 0-2 the count.
And that's the location Bassitt wants with that curveball. That one that Vogt just kind of catches right at the top of the dirt. That's where I think he gets the hitters see it the best and go after it. Or think they see it the best.
One-two pitch. Got him swinging. Good inning for Bassitt. Couple of strikeouts. He's got 4 in the game. A's come to bat in the bottom of the fourth. Still looking for their first hit. Trailing the Royals 2-0. Two big wins in Los Angeles. The Sharks have a 2-0 lead over the Kings, and Monday they return home for Game 3 of that best-of-7 series. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. with Sharks pregame live. Don't miss a moment on the home of the authentic Sharks fan, CSN California. All the games in the first round of this series will be televised on CSN California. Don't miss it. So Game 3 coming up tomorrow. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock. So the Sharks 2-1 win yesterday to give them the 2-0 lead. Warriors win Game 1. They will play Game 2 tomorrow as well. Keep our fingers crossed that the ankle of Steph Curry is okay. One and 0 to Crisp, followed by Reddick and Valencia. 2-0 to Medlin, or from Medlin. The only two base runners so far for the A's in this game are back-to-back walks to Vogt and Coghlan in the second. Medlin's not a big guy, 5'10", 190 pounds.
No, you can tell he's fighting it out there right now. I mean, I know he hasn't given up a hit, but his command is not what it normally is.
Southern California boy, Santa Ana Junior College. Bunted in the air. Perez spins around. His back, can't get it. But Medlin's also a guy too you watch him pitch, and he looks like he's got a pretty good idea. Works quickly.
Yeah, when you have a few different pitches that you can command, and when he, earlier in his career, like you said, that one year he was 10-1. He had 4 pitches he would throw at any count at any time.
Just missed outside, and it's the third walk issue. How about this note? Lowest ERA since the 2012 All-Star break. Now, granted, Medlin has missed a fair amount of time to injury, but still a minimum of 300 innings pitched. 2.68. He has had some success at the big league level.
That's what I mean. When he's right, he's really good. And by the way, is there a list that Kershaw's not at the top of?
No, he's going to be #1 in all of them. Kane has it. Coco's going to have to hustle back, and the throw is a bit high. No, he's going to stay on every list.
Well, you see Reddick hits this one hard, but Kane, good jump on it, and then Coco's kind of caught off pretty far, and Kane tries to make a good throw, airmails it just a little bit. I don't think he would have gotten him anyway, but
so 1 out for Valencia. Well, that one bounces away, and I believe it may have hit the umpire. It was a quick throw to first, and that is a huge break for the Royals.
it's so big because here it hits him right in the leg. That's essentially a 2 bases.
Yep, that's a 2-base move right there, and it's nobody's fault. Mark Carlson is where he's supposed to be.
Instead of 1 out and a guy on third, though, and Valencia trying to drive him in, get a sac fly, he's still at first base. That's a tough break.
Valencia shot to left. That's a hit. So the A's have their first hit, and it's a single by Valencia. And now Vogt will hit.
Well, it's another fastball from Medlin, down and in. You can see Valencia pull the hands in. Gets that foot down. That's a better swing than we've seen from him in the last couple days.
He's had 2 out and 1 out in the second, but Butler hit into the double play. So another opportunity here in the fourth. Stephen Vogt 5 for 8 in the series. He walked in his first at bat today in the second inning. Starting to swing it a little bit. Very nice crowd today here at the Coliseum. And as always, they're having a good time. Vogt takes a stride.
It is amazing, those right field.
Yeah, they have a good time.
And left field. They both get after it out there.
Left field has become much more subdued over the years, taking a back seat to the good folks out in right field. And now 1-2. Pretty good off-speed pitch there by Medlen. 77 miles an hour.
Yeah, he just drops this curveball in, and you can see Vogt just kind of gives up on it. A little down in the zone.
Coco at second, Valencia at first. Hit well to left field. Gordon's going to get back there, though. Coco's going to tag up. He's going to try for third. Gordon's throw is just a bit late, a little offline, and Coco moves up. Two outs now with runners at the corners for Coghlan.
Well, and you could say, you know, why tag there? It's not a necessity, but, you know, Coco is on third now, and all it takes now is a wild pitch or a pass ball, and it is a run.
Yeah, I don't think there was any risk of Coco being thrown out. I mean,
no.
The ball was...
It was hit deep enough.
Yeah.
And also because Gordon was moving back, it's hard to put a lot on that throw. Be different if he was camped under it, got a running start to catch and throw, but that wasn't the case.
So it's up to Coghlan to get a 2-out hit. Coghlan also walked in the second inning. His first at bat, we mentioned his good career numbers against Medlen. See if that helps him here. He is struggling, though. He's 0 for his last 19. .47 pitches so far for Medlen. So the pitch count not too bad. That one not close. Almost looked like it just squirted out of his hand.
Yeah, that's a curveball. He tried backdooring on him, and it just kind of, sometimes the curveball just kind of slip in your hand, and you lose that release point. The fingers don't get out over the front to pull it down. Just kind of spins out.
And now full count. So Valencia will take off. Make it 2-2, my bad. So I'm guessing Valencia will not be taken off. They'll get together on the mound. A's offense in this series, first 2 games, 7 runs scored. Trying to get on the board here today. Two pitch. Coghlan checks his swing, and he glanced up at the third base umpire, Quinn Walcott.
Well, you can see he's able to lay back off this one. Does not go, and even just holds the bat there, shaking his head. No. Medlin walked him in his first AB on a changeup. We'll see if he goes back to that 3-2.
Valencia goes, and it's a swing and a miss. Past Perez. Run scores at first, is safe, and the A's will take it. It's 2-1. So an unconventional run, but a run nonetheless.
Well, not something we see very often from Perez. You don't see many balls get by him. It's just slider down and in. Perez just doesn't stay with it long enough. It goes right off the end of his glove and between his legs, and that's what I was talking about on that tagging up by Coco. Gets himself to third, and a pass ball can score you, and that's exactly what happens on the strikeout. Coughlin's able to beat it out. You see Hosmer up in the air again.
So it goes as a pass ball, and I think that's the right call. Here's Butler. That ball was not in the dirt.
No, it went off the end of his glove, and sometimes you don't realize it. Coghlan takes off a little late, but able to beat it out.
So a 2-1 game. Butler hits with a 1-0 count. Salvador Perez has won 3 straight Gold Gloves, but a costly mistake there. If you think about it, it's a run. It's more pitches for your starter.
Yep.
And who knows? If he doesn't get Butler, then you've allowed the A's to come back and maybe tie the game.
Well, and not just a mistake from him. Like it's something you don't see this Royals team do very often, is give you extra outs.
Butler chops one foul. So the count is even at 2-2. Butler hit into a 5-3 double play in the second inning. Medlin, a quick glance to Valencia, and that one's ripped right into the Royals dugout. Looks like everybody's okay. The scouting report binder may have taken a beating. Rusty Kuntz is okay. He lost his hat though. Although if you have hair like that, you keep the hat off.
The hat's not on very often.
Look at that hair.
When he's on the field.
Man, where'd he get that? Gotta find where he got that hair. Full count now, so the runners will take off. Yeah, you have a head of hair like that, you never wear a hat, ever. Even at first base, you just break the rule. Valencia will take off, so will Coghlan, and the ball's rolled foul as Medlin got in on the hands of Butler. Pitch number 59 coming up from Medlin. He was cruising along the first 3 innings, but this has been a tough inning for him, and it all started with a walk. Outside corner, strike 3 called. So he painted the outside corner, made a good pitch. So a run for the Athletics, and we're on to the 5th. Royals 2, A's 1.
Your family to the ballpark on a Friday night? With the Friday Family Pack, you get 4 Plaza level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts for just $60 at every Friday home game. Buy now at athletics.com/family pack, subject to availability.
First pitch to Raymond Fuentes is a strike. 2-1 game now, top of the 5th inning. Fuentes, Colon, and Escobar.
This is an important inning for Bassitt. You want to have a nice quick inning.
Coghlan ranges to his left. Well, that's 5 in a row retired by Bassitt. Trying to settle in a little bit.
Yeah, when your team scores you that run, you want to try and get back in that dugout as soon as possible. Give them another chance.
Number 24, Christian Colon.
9th place hitter Christian Colon will hit. He grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. Colon getting a couple starts in this series. He was at 3rd base on Friday. Tonight at 2nd base, or today. Remember Christian Colon's name from years back. He was the 4th overall pick in the 2010 draft. Wow. Coghlan dives, and he just cannot quite get to it.
Well, Colon shoots this ball the other way, and you can see Coghlan lays out, just not far enough. So close.
Now batting number 2, Alcides Escobar.
So now top of the order in Escobar. certainly expectations of a high draft pick like that. I mean, you went through it, but you did not spend a lot of time in the minor leagues.
No,
and you were also a college player, and
yeah,
probably pretty close to being big league ready when you were drafted, which a lot different than a high school kid being chosen.
Yeah, I think it's tough sometimes for the high school kids when you're picked that high. As you said, the expectations, you're so young.
Man.
I mean, me personally, I know if I would have been, I was drafted out of high school, but it was real late. I was a 55th round pick, which tells you how old I am. They don't even do 50 rounds anymore. But
you're so old.
Yeah, right. But the point is that I wouldn't have been ready.
Vogt's going to decide to let it go foul, and he does. I always tell the story. I remember my first year in the minor leagues, there was a kid who was a very high draft pick, and he was a high school player, third pick. I'm not going to say his name. He was a really talented player, but it was his first year in the minor leagues, and the only thing he wanted to do was to go home because he was so homesick.
Yeah.
And it really affected him. He did not play well. They ended up being fine as time went on, but he was 18 years old, and he just wanted to go home. Called home every day.
Everybody's different. That's why it's that whole draft is such a tough gig. You know, there's guys, kids you think are can't misses, and they miss.
Who was the #1 pick in your draft?
Pat Burrell.
Pat Burrell. Okay.
Yeah. Pat always, and I'm good friends with him, and he always says to me, "What's it like to be picked that low?"
You know, I can hear Pat Burrell saying that.
Exactly.
Pat Burrell's not going to cut anybody any slack.
No.
Escobar gets it through. Valencia was playing in. Pretty good career for Pat Burrell. Got a couple of World Series rings.
Well, and we've seen it a lot from the Royals this week. Ground ball, base hits. They make hard contact. This is supposed to be a fastball in. A little too much, catches too much of the plate. And Valencia, who's playing on the grass, really didn't have a chance at that. Ball's just hit too hard in the hole.
So work to do for Bassitt now, with Mike Moustakas stepping in. Moustakas homered in the third. Good pitch there in the inside corner, first strike. Was there any talk of you being the #1 pick? I mean, do you remember hearing that at all?
Yeah. And I remember the Phillies GM coming to watch me pitch in Penn State. At Penn State, and it was I know he was there. Ed Wade was his name.
Sure.
And it was, I believe, the one bad start I had that year in college.
Of course, it was probably 35 degrees.
Well, I was only 6-6, I think, that junior year. Our Michigan State team wasn't all that great. My last collegiate start, I had a no-hitter thrown against me. I lost 1-0. You know, we had a few. When I hit third or fourth in the lineup, that tells you how good we were offensively.
A's need to turn it. Coghlan to first, and they do. Moustakas hits into the 4-6-3 double play. Side retired. Bottom of the fifth coming up. It'll be Alonso, Simeon, and Burns. 2-1 Royals. Banquet Beer on this date in 1968. The A's in their first game, the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Newly arrived A's lose to the Orioles 4-1. The team, which played in Kansas City last season, is shut down by Baltimore Southpaw Dave McNally on 2 hits. So the first ever game here at the Coliseum for the Oakland A's. A big event. Charlie O was there. Joe DiMaggio. There's the Unis. Ronald Reagan. It's a big night here at the Coliseum. 1968. April 17th. The lineup for the A's: Bert Campaneris, Reggie Jackson, Sal Bando. So we've all heard of those guys. Then things slow down a little bit. Rick Monday, of course, had a nice career. Lou Krause was the starting pitcher. Moustakas backpedaling, and he'll grab it. Alonso's retired.
So Reggie hitting the 2
Yeah,
ball, huh?
using his speed. But it was the terrific nucleus of the team from the 70s that started to come up in 68. See, with Campaneris, Jackson, and Bando. And the next wave was right behind him. And we know what happened with that group. Of course, the good people of Kansas City were without a team, but for not for very long. The Royals came in 1969 as an expansion team. Seattle Pilots, Montreal Expos, San Diego Padres, and the Kansas City Royals were the 4 expansion teams that arrived in 1969. Pilots became the Brewers. Two and 1 the count to Marcus Semien. Popped up. Fuentes backs up now, trots in a little bit. Looking up into the sunshine, 2 outs.
Well, this inning, Medlin's looked a little bit more comfortable.
batting.
Thrown a few more strikes, gotten ahead.
Number 1, Billy Burns.
That's also, I think, a pitch Semien would like to have back.
So now Burns will try to get on with 2 outs. Good curveball from Medlin. Well, our unofficial theme today is what happens the 3rd time through the lineup. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how Medlin goes at the A's. See if he starts spinning a few more breaking balls, maybe. Bassett is just into his 3rd time through the lineup. So we'll see his approach. Doesn't necessarily mean Medlin still going to throw fastballs,
but you see, it's a mix, you know, and like this Burns at bat, he started him off with a curveball, went change up away, and then threw a slider. So Burns has seen 3 different pitches.
Moustakas, a nice play. He's got to hurry. He does. Makes a perfect throw. Side retired. So Medlin, 3 up, 3 down inning. 6th inning coming up. 2-1 Kansas City. Playoffs are on our sister station, CSN Bay Area. Tune in Monday, Game 2. Pitch JB and Roz. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Warriors pregame live. The home of Warriors playoff basketball is CSN, so you can see Game 2 on CSN Monday night. Across the way. Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and Ken Breeze Morales. 3, 4, 5 hitters for the Royals for Bassett here in the 6th inning. Cain a ground out and a walk. Good pitch there, right on the outside corner. "77 pitches for Bassett. Cain had a pretty good look at that one on the inside corner, and he hits it deep but foul.
I feel like we see a lot of those from Lorenzo Cain. He gets that foot down and just kind of back legs those slower breaking balls, the off-speed pitches. And a lot of them tend to be foul because he's out in front of them, but that's kind of how he does it.
He also will drive the ball to right field. Bassett ahead in the count, 1-2. Hangs in there on a tough curveball. Lorenzo Cain in this series is 2 for 8.
I like that pitch right there. Move his feet a little. Good hard sinker down and in. Maybe try to open up that outer edge of the plate here.
Back inside. Ball's hit toward Coghlan. Nice big hop. And Cain is retired. And the A's will be in New York Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for a 3-game series. The Yankees beat the Mariners today 4-3. Mariners had won the first 2 games of that series, so Mariners were going for the sweep, but the Yankees get the win. Snaps their 4-game losing streak. Tanaka over Iwakuma. Line foul into the seats. Mariners will head to Cleveland, continue their long road trip, take on the Indians. Oh, 1 pitch to Hosmer. Toward third. Valencia juggles, a little bit of a tough hop, throws, not in time, and it's going to be an error. Got that little in-between hop.
Well, his ball wasn't hit all that hard. You can see Hosmer frustrated. He gets jammed, and I don't know if that played into Valencia bobbling this, but he kind of sat back and waited on it. And once he did, he got it, and then took a little too long. And Hosmer's got enough speed, and he easily beat this out. It's a tough read. I mean, the problem was that Valencia sat back on it. You got to come get it, but way Hosmer swung that bat, you couldn't really tell how soft it came off his bat, and by then it was too late.
There's Morales, who takes high. And that was that in-between hop that we talk about a lot. It's the toughest play for an infielder. At least a ball right at him that's an in-between hop.
Well, because it jammed him, it had a little funky spin to it also, which makes that tougher.
I think your point is a good one. If sometimes you can take a step in and get the ball before it becomes an in-between hop.
Yeah,
but
you come and get it on the short hop.
But if you're not sure how hard it was hit, then you're not sure if you should take that step in.
And I'd be willing to bet that's what happened to him there.
Short hop is not a problem play. The in-between hop is a tough play.
It's the same thing with an outfielder. Ball goes off the end of the bat or a jam shot. You see the full swing. The outfielder has to wait a second, then judge it where it is, and you go after it. Same thing with Valencia there. He saw the swing, thought it was going to be hit harder, and by the time he realized how soft it was, he couldn't move.
3-1 to Morales, who has grounded out. And they did a pop up to left that Coco had to fight the sun, ended up making a nice play. So Morales is 4 for 10 in the series. Hosmer a walking lead. He takes off, and Morales hit a big rip. Hosmer did not have a real big lead, but then he started to inch off a little bit. He runs very well for a big man.
Yeah, you see more and more guys do this. They just kind of get off the bag, and then they're watching the pitcher. You watch his different moves, the way he goes about it, and you try to time it right. Kind of get a running lead almost.
Does it again, and the pitch is high, and it's a walk. So an error and a walk, and the Royals have something going here in the 6th. Two walks, 4 strikeouts now for Bassett as Kurt Young will trot out. Nothing going on in that A's bullpen, although that could change real soon. Bassett closing in on 90 pitches.
Gordon.
Eck is not coming into the game.
I want to wear that one day.
No, you don't.
I want to do the race. I might blow out, but
first pitch to Gordon is a strike. Gordon is 1 for 2, knocked in a run with a bloop single in the 2nd. Bassett keeping a close eye on Hosmer, who's dancing around. Semien is close enough where he's almost able to hold him on.
And as a pitcher, you got to just let him dance. Just hold that ball a little longer. Just get the runner to stop is all that you have to do.
Fernando Rodriguez starts to throw. Hosmer had that mad dash from third to home in Game 5 of the World Series, tied the game in the 9th inning, and then the Royals won it later on, won the World Series. A gutsy play, but he read it perfectly.
Well, and Duda, not exactly the best arm at first.
There you go.
You're making somebody make a good throw.
Yep. And he didn't.
Yeah, and he didn't. That's exactly right. You didn't need a great throw. You just needed a good throw, and he wasn't able to do that.
And then you're almost not surprised that that's the way the Royals tied the pivotal World Series game that the Mets had to feel good about with Matt Harvey pitching. Gordon cannot hold up. 2-2 the count.
Well, the slider for Bassitt today has been a big pitch, and you can see Gordon, that's basically the same pitch that was strike one in this at bat.
Bassitt's now ready. That one misses badly. 3-2.
Well, he tried going with the curveball and just overthrew it. It's hard to do sometimes. Big moment. You want to get a strikeout. You want to make the good pitch, and you just try to do a little too much and try to make it too good. If you throw a normal one, that's good enough.
Inning started with Kane grounding out. Then Hosmer reached on the air, and Morales with a walk. High in the air toward Burns, who shades his eyes. He's under it. Hosmer will tag. Morales will stay at first. Two outs here in the sixth. And Salvi Perez will step up.
Well, big pitch from Bassitt here. Goes with that slider again, and missed his location, trying to go inside, but gets away with it. And you see Burns in center field again with the sun, shading his eyes. Makes a catch, gets it in.
So Bassitt trying to get through the sixth. Salvador Perez has hit a fly ball to the left, and he has struck out. 1 for 6 in the series. He lines one down the right field line, but foul.
This is where, as the pitcher, you want to pick up your teammate. Valencia with the error. It's tough getting 4 outs in an inning sometimes, but these things happen, and you got to pick up your teammates right here and make a couple more pitches.
Perez, when he gets in there, he's ready to swing.
He's happy.
Yeah.
He's not waiting around. He's a good bad ball hitter. That's the thing. It's not like he's just hitting pitches down the middle. He sometimes goes after pitches that are balls, and he still squares them up.
Morales with a giant jump, doesn't matter, as Bassitt strikes out Perez. So the Royals strand a pair. Bottom of the sixth coming up. Kansas City 2 and the Athletics 1.
inning, we had, you know, Perez has 2 strikes, and you look at Kendrys Morales at first base, and he takes off, and there's nothing that can be more distracting for Perez when you're trying to hit right there. There's really no need for him to go like that. You can see how obvious it is, and as a hitter, I've heard hitters complain about it all the time. Your eyes just kind of move because you're not expecting Morales to go. And I'm not saying Perez is making an excuse for it or anything like that, but those situations do happen, and I know at times hitters are frustrated when it does.
And it's not like you're sitting there as a hitter thinking, well, Morales is probably going to take off here.
It's not like a 3-2 count.
He's not the guy you'd think would be running.
It's unexpected, so your vision, out of the corner of your vision, you see him, and you just lose that focus on the pitch.
Or even when a runner's at second base and he may be trying to distract the pitcher, maybe dancing around a little bit, you also may be distracting your own teammate who's the hitter.
Well, because of that, how that all happened, he took off so early. Bassett paid no attention to him whatsoever. That's also where Perez up there is just kind of going, wait, is he going to stop? You know, thinking Bassett might step off, you know, whatever it might be.
Coco just able to get out of the way somehow. Crisp, Reddick, and Valencia here in the 6th inning against Chris Medlen. Medlen's been good today. He's allowed just 1 hit. And the run was an unearned run. It came on a strikeout pass ball.
Yeah, the handful of times he's fallen behind and walked some guys, he's backed it up and made some good pitches.
Just missed there, 2-2. Coco's grounded out, and he walked and scored in the 4th. Got him swinging. Went out of the strike zone. So 4 strikeouts now for Chris Medlen. 1 out here in the 6th. The A's Insider podcast is live on CSNCalifornia.com. Log on each week as our A's Insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. The A's Insider podcast with Super Joe Stiglitz. It's only on CSNCalifornia.com. Also available on iTunes. 1 away for Reddick. Reddick hit a shot at the center fielder in the 4th inning. Medlen has, as you said, he's been behind in the count a fair amount of times today, so I would not say his control's been real sharp. But he always seems to kind of come back and make a big pitch when he needs to. He's fallen behind 3-0 on Reddick.
And I mean, let's face it, if you're going to go 3-0 and you're struggling a little bit, sometimes as a pitcher, you're better off just walking them on 4 and moving on to the next guy.
And Reddick, kind of an easy take. He's got a walk. That is 4 walks for Medlen with 4 strikeouts.
Now batting, third baseman.
So 35 balls, 44 strikes. That's not very good.
That also shows you how odd of a game of baseball is at times. He's given up 1 run and 1 hit. You know, yeah, he hasn't commanded it, but you just need to make the pitches when they're important. And he's done that so far.
Valencia had the A's only hit, a line drive single in the 4th inning. A little bit outside. Astros beat the Tigers 5-4 in Houston. Myers over Sanchez. Gregerson got his 4th save. Altuve and Springer homer for Houston. Moustakas scoops it, short hop, double play. So Medlin does his magic again and gets the A's to hit into a double play. And that'll do it. 7th inning coming up. 2-1 Kansas City. Game 1 of the World Series last year. First pitch thrown by Matt Harvey. Alcides Escobar, an inside the park home run in Kansas City with a little help from Cespedes. First in a game since Mule Haas of the A's did it in the 1929 World Series. And the first leadoff batter since Patsy Doherty did it for the Boston Americans in the 1903 World Series. That's how it started. 1929 A's team. Tough to beat. They won it all. Led by Mule Haas. Of course, that did not sit well with the Mets, although it wasn't Escobar's fault.
Yeah. All he did was run.
He just hit it and kept running. Fuentes leading things off. Be followed by Colon and Escobar. Well, the Royals certainly look like once again to be one of the best teams in baseball. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Royals though in a couple of years. And they've known this was coming. They've known it for a while now, but they got their players coming back this year and they got their players coming back next year. But after the 2017 season, that's when some of their big stars are going to be free agents, and they're just not going to be able to pay them all. They may be able to pay some, but they're not going to be able to keep them all. Of course, they got Gordon signed in the offseason. They just gave Perez an extension, so those two guys are going to be around for a while. Roll toward first slowly. Alonso will take it. But this is the list of guys, Mark, that could be free agents after the 2017 season. Hosmer, Kane, Escobar, Moustakas, Kendrys Morales, Infante, Davis, Volquez, Vargas, Duffy, Hochevar, Medlin, and Dyson.
That's it?
That's all. And of course, it's a long list of names, but you think Moustakas and Hosmer and Kane and your closer Davis, but there's more on that list, and it's just they're not going to be able to keep them all, and I guess you certainly hope they can keep some of them.
Yeah, Hosmer and Kane probably in line for larger paydays.
I guess the point is
but things seem
there's a little bit of a window, obviously,
yeah.
but they're also going to have to decide who they try to keep.
Absolutely. And sometimes those things tend to work themselves out.
Yeah.
Whether injuries happen or guys just can't maintain that same level of play maybe.
So maybe it makes your decision to not keep that guy easier.
Yep.
But it also brings up the, after this year, do we think about trading any of those guys?
Yeah. Well, but okay, so then you start looking at what do they have in the minor league system? You know, who do they have coming at what positions?
Yeah.
Coming up in what positions? You know, that also helps with those decisions. There's just so much that goes into it that a lot of people don't realize.
Fouled straight back by Colon. Yeah, I mean, listen, just as an example, I mean, let's say the Royals trying to decide, well, do we keep Moustakas or do we keep Hosmer? Well, our best prospect is a third baseman.
Exactly.
Well, then maybe you don't worry so much about Moustakas. And again, I don't know that this is the case. It's just for talking purposes. But so what is in their minor league system will probably have a lot to do with these decisions they make.
Well, and sometimes depending on who that player's agent is, sometimes plays into that factor of, okay, when should we trade this guy? He's going to want to go to free agency. Who can we re-sign possibly?
And it may be the case of, listen, what guy is going to get the biggest contract? Maybe that's not the guy we can sign. Shot into the glove of Alonso for out number 2.
Well, and obviously they didn't want to lose Alex Gordon, but they didn't know what other teams were going to offer him. He went out there, other teams made offers, and you know, maybe the Royals realized, and talking to his agent, okay, maybe we can.
Yeah, maybe we can compete.
Yes. Which then they ended up re-signing him.
We're looking at Alex Gordon right now. Gordon got a 4-year contract. Escobar's name was on that list. Doesn't mean that the Royals won't continue to be good after that. It just means that they may lose a couple guys. And, you know, you put Eric Hosmer in the free agent market 2 years from now, he may be a $150 million player.
I mean, we talked last night, you know, I don't see him being a guy hitting 35, 40 homers just because he's a higher average type player.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know.
But valuable.
No. Good defensively.
Sure. But this group will enjoy their time in Kansas City this year and next year, and then just see what happens. Escobar battles Bassett. So he's now at 113 pitches, and that's a career high. But still strong.
Yeah, and that's what I like. You gotta test your guys at some point. The days when they look good, you can let them have those little extra pitches. Let's see them battle through it.
And it looks like Bassett is going to get through the 7th inning. Nicely done by the young right-hander. He finishes 5 straight retired, 2-1 as we reach the 7th inning stretch.
today's Honda player of the game, it's got to be Chris Bassitt. Another 7 innings, 5 hits, just the 2 earned runs. And you see the career high, 114 pitches. He changed speeds. He had a great slider in today's ball game. He used it to both lefties and righties, and he did his job. He's unfortunately on the wrong end right now of a 2-1 game, but you see that the 4 total runs in his 3 starts. So it's tough, but you know what? He battled today and did a great job.
And now he'll see if the A's can get a couple runs for him. Vogt, Coghlan, and Butler, bottom of the 7th. For Chris Medlen, he's at 81 pitches through 6 innings. Vogt, a walk and a fly ball to left field. First pitch, breaking ball, swings over top. The Angels and the Twins are playing a long one in Minnesota. It's a 2-2 game in the 12th inning. Twins trying to sweep the Angels. The Twins lost their first 9, but they've won the first 2 games of that series. Shift is on right to Escobar, who is playing behind second base. One out. And Coghlan will hit. The Orioles and the Rangers were rained out. Bad weather in the Dallas area. In fact, they're supposed to have bad weather for the next couple of days. The Rangers will be off tomorrow, but they will remain at home. They will host the Astros Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully the bad weather will be through that area, but not good today. Orioles and Rangers rained out. They will make that up on Monday, June 20th. In that game in Arlington. Kelvin Herrera starts to throw. Coghlan belts one toward deep center. Kane on the run, and Kane can't get it. And it goes up over the wall, and it's a double. And if it doesn't go up over the wall, I think Coghlan's got a chance for a triple because he runs pretty well.
Absolutely he does. He really unlucky that this bounces over instead of hitting the wall, but you can see Medlen trying to go down and away with the fastball, just elevates it, and Coghlan, who's the one person in this lineup, as you said, who's had success. A good swing, and you could see just how fast Lorenzo Cain is, just out of his reach. He almost caught up to that, and then off the warning track and bounces over the wall.
So we got a pitching change. Ed Yost says, that's it, I'm going to my bullpen. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts.
A's Baseball on CSN California is brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience TV.
So that's Chris Medlen. He goes 6 1/3, 86 pitches today. He did a good job. Just 2 hits and an unearned run off Medlen. So he could win it. He could get a no decision. He cannot lose it. And he's going to sit back and watch his bullpen as Kelvin Herrera is first in line. The A's have the tying run at second base, and there is 1 out. And a pinch hitter, Jed Lowry's going to hit for Butler.
Well, and Yost wasted no time going to that bullpen. As soon as somebody got on, a runner in scoring position, you got to go with the hard-throwing right-hander.
Alonso will be next. So a couple of left-handed hitters with a chance to get Coghlan home and tie up the game. Outfield shifted toward left center and shallow. First pitch is a fastball high, 96 miles an hour. Lowry on the year, 9 hits and 43 at bats. He's got 7 RBIs. Outside corner strike. Lowry is 1 for 6 with a couple of walks in this series. That one jammed. It was a breaking ball.
Well, and Herrera, who has that 98 to 100, you see him going with that curveball just up in the zone, and Lowry kind of hits it off the almost off his knuckles.
Ooh, that was close. 97 on the outside corner.
And that's the thing. You think that breaking ball up and in, and then he backs it up with a sinking 97. It's off the plate, but I mean, Lowry takes that. I mean, you can't do anything with that.
Curve spins high. Full count to Lowry. Herrera pitched on Friday night, 1 inning, 13 pitches. Foul straight back. The Twins beat the Angels in 12 innings, 3-2. Minnesota just finished off that win. The Twins sweep the Angels. There's your breakdown. Right field base hit. This should tie the game. Here comes Coghlan. There will be no throw, and Lowry comes through big time.
It always amazes me sometimes when these hard throwers go to their off-speed stuff in big situations. And here's one where Herrera hangs a curveball. Lowry able to recognize it, stay back, pull it to right field, and Coghlan scores easily.
Get beat on your second best pitch with the game on the line. I agree. Always hard to figure out. I believe I saw that fastball coming in at 97 miles an hour.
I've never heard a hitter really say, oh, that 97, 90, yeah, that's easy.
I hate that breaking ball.
I mean, I understand he's not trying to hang it, he's not trying to leave it over the plate, but I feel like you're giving the hitter a better chance, which the A's appreciate, but you're giving him a better chance when you do that.
Alonso pops it up, foul territory near the A's dugout, and Salvador Perez with a basket catch. So Alonso is 0 for 3.
Now batting, shortstop, number 10.
So now it's up to Semien.
Semien.
Semien, a fly ball to left and a fly ball to right. A's have tied it here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball 96 miles an hour. I guess to finish that point on the pitch selection, we just saw a hanging curveball, right? But that's the thing. You can hang a curveball. You don't hang a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's exactly right. Even if, and especially you can miss up in the zone, you can throw it right by the guy.
And he ends up striking out Semien. No, just got a piece of it. Sorry. So the count stays 0-2 to Marcus.
You can see it just goes right off the end of the glove, right into the chest of the umpire. There's a pad there, but it still can't feel good.
Yeah. One and 2 now, so Chris Medlin will get a no decision. 2 runs allowed, 1 earned run in 6 1/3 innings. Good take by Semien. In the air, right center. Kane with lots of range gets over there, fires it back in, and it's out, number 3. So Jed Lowry with a big hit. RBI single that knocks home Chris Coghlan. So after 7 from the Coliseum, it's the A's 2 and the Royals 2.
Rock out with your very own Sean Doolittle Metallica Gnome with sound, presented by Ross. 15,000 fans at the Saturday, April 30th game will receive this one-of-a-kind giveaway that actually plays the A's closers walkout song. Get your tickets today at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 877-493-BALL.
A 2-2 game now, top of the 8th inning. Thanks to that man, Jed Lowry, with the base hit. And when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts, as John Axford comes in. Good start for him. His 7th appearance has yet to allow a run. He faces Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer here in the top of the 8th. So Chris Bassitt pitched great, and he's going to get a no decision, much like his last start in Seattle. Remember, he was trailing in his last start in Seattle late, 1-0. Simeon homered to tie it, got him a no decision. A's ended up winning the game. Today, the A's tied in the bottom of the 7th. Tapped over the mound. Simeon got to move quickly, and he got him.
Well, great job by Simeon. He shifted because of Moustakas, so he's on the right side of second base. Has to come straight in. Gets a little bit of a funny hop, plays it well. You can see it come up. Smooth transition, good throw. That's what I was saying. You can see just a little funny hop. He comes straight up with it and beats him by half a step.
One away for Kane. Axford pitched in yesterday's game. An inning and 2/3 for the big right-hander. 25 pitches. In this series, the bullpen has thrown 7 2/3 innings. Bullpen innings in the early going this year in the American League, the A's bullpen has thrown the most innings. Scooped up by Coghlan. So maybe not an issue yet, but at some point you probably don't want to be on that list.
No, that's something that will need to change here shortly. You're going to need some more depth and more innings out of your starters. You can't maintain that. The guys in the bullpen can't maintain that throughout a season. Like you said, it's fine for right now, but in a few more weeks, you don't want to see those same numbers. And if you do, there might not be some of the same arms down in that bullpen.
The numbers may not be the same.
Just might need a couple fresh arms.
Well, these have tomorrow off. But then 16 consecutive days the A's will play.
And that's where it could be tested.
Yeah.
You know, you need to get some more outs out of those starters.
1-0 to Hosmer with 2 outs. A little bit inside. Axford throwing hard at 95. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 5-3.
Well, Axford, that's a fastball, but you can see Hosmer somewhat fooled on it of some sort. It had good run, good sink to it. He went after it almost like it was a changeup, but it wasn't. It was a heater.
So 3-1 here. Be careful because Hosmer, he generally swings very hard. On the ground and then onto the grass. Coghlan has it, side retired. Axford, a 3-up, 3-down inning with 3 ground ball outs. Bottom of the 8th coming up. The A's will send up the top of their order. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Good ball game, 2-5-0 for Kansas City, 2-3-1 for the A's. A's tied it in the bottom of the 7th on the Lowry pinch hit RBI single. Both starting pitchers were good. Bassett 7 innings. Bassett threw 114 pitches. So it's a battle of the bullpens, and it's Joakim Soria. Soria pitched on Friday night. An inning of work, stranded a couple of runners, and he threw 18 pitches. Moustakas well in on the grass at third. There's a shot just foul. Well, that would have been fun to watch Billy Burns run.
Yeah, and it's the top of the order. See if we can get something going here, get a run across.
Burns is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and lined out to center. Strike right in there, 92 miles an hour. Crisp to follow, and then Reddick.
There's Soria with that slow breaking ball. He mixes those in. He can slow it down as much as 65 miles an hour. That one's 69. You can see just how big of a loop there is in that, but when you throw low to mid 90s, every now and then he likes to drop one of those in.
Took a little off that time. Ball floated off the plate. That is a fair ball, and it's rolling down past the bullpen. Burns hits second base. He's digging for 3, and he's going to make it standing up, and the A's are in business here in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Glenn, you called it after the first pitch that was foul. How much fun it would be to see him run, and you can see this fastball in. He just turns on it. Hosmer not playing that far off the line, but it was just hit that hard. He couldn't get there. And once it gets past Hosmer, then it just becomes a race. Gets in the corner, bobbled a little bit, and Burns is going to be on third, whether or not he came up with that clean or not. You can see just out of the reach of Eric Hosmer.
So there's the go-ahead run. Infield comes in. First pitch to Coco. Swings and misses.
And here's when we're talking about the speed. There's no let up. The second it gets by Hosmer, he's off to the races. Helmet flies off as he hits second base. I mean, he even made a turn at third in case somebody bobbled that throw in.
0-1 pitch. There's that big curve that Coco watches it. 1-1 the count. Coco's 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the 4th. Outfield also shallow. Moustakas, couple steps to his right, has it, throws across the diamond, 1 out.
Not the at-bat that Crisp wanted, a fastball up and away, and he just kind of, almost like he was just trying to put it in play rather than try to drive something, and it's hit right to Moustakas. Moustakas looks Burns back and makes a good throw across the diamond.
So a long meeting on the mound. Reddick's the hitter. Valencia would be after him.
Well, this is just a chat to how we gonna, what do you want to do with Reddick? Walk him? Do you want to pitch around him? You don't have to give him anything to let him drive him in. You can put him on first, try to get a double play with Valencia.
See what Perez does. They're going to pitch to him. First pitch, right on the outside corner for a strike.
Well, you can see just how far off the plate Perez set up there.
Almost like he didn't want to throw a strike.
That's my point. Which is kind of what I would expect them to try to pitch Reddick that way. See if you can get him to chase. And I don't think they were actually looking for a strike on that first pitch.
I always felt like if that's what you want to do, then just put him on.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
Because what if Reddick swings at that first pitch?
Yep.
Misses badly, 2-1.
You know, Perez set up down the middle there. I mean, you're throwing a breaking ball like that. It's easy to hang something like that, and that's easy to hit a fly ball.
A little off the plate, 3-1. Reddick, center field. Kane circles under it. He's got it. Burns tags. The throw to the plate is late, and the A's take the lead.
You can see Soria goes with the changeup down and away. Reddick out in front, but does enough to get it to the outfield. And honestly, Kane has a great arm, but I don't think you really have any chance of throwing out Billy Burns at home. That ball would have had to have been much more shallow in order to get him.
Here's Valencia. Valencia Shallow right field. Fuentes comes racing in, and he makes the catch. Side retired, but the A's take the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Burns with a triple, Reddick with a sac fly. 9th inning coming up. Matson coming in.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So Reddick with a sacrifice fly, and the A's have taken a 3-2 lead. Top of the 9th inning. So Matson in, trying to get the save as he faces Kendrys Morales. First pitch right there for strike. Matson got the save yesterday.
Second game, pitch against his old team. He talked about the familiarity. They know what he's throwing.
Shallow left field. Valencia backpedaling. Still backpedaling, and he makes the catch. One out here in the 9th.
Well, you can see this ball goes up in the air, and the sun has moved enough that it's not really an issue, but you can see that it had some spin to it. Valencia fights it, but makes the catch. Doesn't matter how you do it as long as you make it.
So that'll bring up Gordon. Gordon takes the ball. Next time the A's see the Kansas City Royals, it'll be mid-September in Kansas City. So it's going to be a while. There's that changeup.
Same arm action, comes out of the same slot. You can see the spin on it just going down and away from Gordon. It looks so good out of the hand. Just doesn't seem to ever get there. Parachute comes out.
There's your shift for Gordon. Gordon taps it right at the plate. So Matson ahead in the count. Matson gave up a run yesterday in the 9th. One-two pitch, nice block by Vogt.
Well, the changeup in the dirt, and you can see Vogt just smothering that, keeping it in front of him.
Strike 3 called at the knees on the outside corner. So Gordon disagrees. You be the judge.
Well, Gordon doesn't like it. We love it. Another changeup. Down. You know, Gordon's looking at where this is caught. Yes, it's caught low, but it crosses just above the knees. Well, at the knees.
Pretty close, but a good pitch.
Too close to take, let's put it that way.
So Salvador Perez steps in. First pitch he sees, he whacks into left field for a hit. So that makes it interesting because Terrence Gore comes in to pinch run, and Terrence Gore can absolutely fly. This is as fast as anybody you'll see.
Well, and Perez, like we said, he doesn't wait around long. A high fastball, Madsen trying to get ahead. Perez is up there hacking. I mean, this is essentially for the Royals putting just a track guy at first base.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he can play, but he flat out runs.
Yeah, he's like Herb Washington from many, many years ago. And he goes, good jump. Vogt's throw is not in time. He slips past the bag, but reaches for it with his right hand to hold on. So there is no messing around. Terrence Gore said, I'm gone.
Well, and as a pitcher, you can't try to be too quick to the plate. The situation is too big. You have to try to make the pitch first. Madsen misses up and away, and you can see he's going so fast, he's sliding off, but I mean, the acceleration, that's the thing. And you see just how fast he's going. It's hard for him to stay in contact with the bag when you're not doing a pop-up slide.
So the count 1-0 to Raymond Fuentes. Roll just foul, headed for the A's dugout.
This is what makes this Royals team tough. They never seem to be out of games. They find a way to give themselves a chance at the end of close games. And it's because of the lineup, because of the bench that Ned Yost has, the guys he's able to use.
Alonso grabs it, and that's the ball game. So Madsen saves it for John Axford. Let's not forget about a great effort from Chris Bassett. And the Oakland A's take 2 out of 3 from the world champion Kansas City Royals. So it turns out to be a very good weekend of baseball as the A's win yesterday and they win again today. It took 2 hours and 37 minutes in front of 29,668. Final score this afternoon, the A's 3 and the Royals 2. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California. It's all part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's Postgame Live with Mindy Bach and Pip Roberts starts right now.